Huzzah! We are here. Hello, everybody. Can you see? Can Johnny be seen just about?
You on the bench tech?
Yeah.
It's all good.
It's hiding. Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's stream. It is I, Matt. I love that I can say stuff like that and it sounds ridiculous, but also kind of cool. Well, maybe not cool. Doesn't matter. Yeah. Welcome to the stream, everyone. With me, Matt. That is I. Is
It's Johnny again.
It's Johnny.
Second time on stream.
Second ever, or?
Second ever, I think.
You sure? I'm sure someone will let us know in the chat. Hey Sharmoni, how's it going? It's exciting. We have exciting news this week. So there's a big news for TerraTech. Big week news for TerraTech, should I say. So let's rattle through some bits of housekeeping. So firstly, the latest unstable went out on Monday, which included, amongst other things, the first blocks set, the initial block set for the circuits and systems. So there was input blocks, there was logic blocks, there was signal blocks, and there was some output blocks in there as well. So that means that you can get your hands on them and start playing with them. So it's very exciting. Some bits just to clarify on exactly what that means. So those blocks, the circuits and systems blocks that I just mentioned, are only available in the R&D Labs DLC for now. This is because they're still kind of work in progress. They're probably likely to change either in how they look or how they function or whatever. So we're kind of going back to how we used to do things with TerraTech, which is to kind of let everyone else have their hands-on experience with it, test it out, sort of stress test it a little bit as you were. And let us know what you think, so we can make changes. So come sort of April, May time, when we actually get to release them into the full game, they are as perfect and as polished as they possibly can be. So that's the plan. So yeah, if you want to check them out, obviously go download the latest unstable version. I couldn't tell you what version number it is because I honestly can't remember. But yeah, go check it out. So that's that. There's other blocks in there as well. There is some cosmetic blocks we've added to celebrate the Lunar New Year. So there's you can make your own kind of Eastern-inspired dragon. There's a lantern block and also a new fireworks launcher as well.
Very pretty, that fireworks launcher.
So cool.
It's a good one.
It's nice. And the lanterns are really cool. Really cool. So yeah, go check those out. So like I say, big week news for TerraTech. Big news week even for TerraTech. And yeah, I think that's it. We hope to release that unstable as a next update on Friday. Hopefully, if all things go well, QA. Sorry. Yeah, cool. All right. I've also had my beard trimmed. I trimmed my beard this morning, especially for the stream. It's still a bit patchy, but it looks better than it did. Cool. Johnny, how's your beard? Looking good.
Again, I tied it up a bit today,
Yeah.
but
Johnny knew he was going to be on the stream.
I had a hunch.
Feel it. Cool. So that's kind of it. What we're going to be doing on today's stream. Let's move on to that. So Johnny, what are we doing on today's stream? There's a hint right there. No, not.
Yeah, we're doing the output blocks for circuits and systems.
Yeah. So this kind of is a nice bookend to the recent sort of circuits and systems content that we've been doing. We started with input blocks, which was a nice sort of easy sort of introduction into how circuits and systems work. We then looked at signals and that sort of stuff, and now we're kind of finishing, not quite because there's still loads more to come, but this sort of segment of circuits and system stuff, we're finishing with the output blocks. So we'll go into a bit more detail as to exactly what those are now, but effectively, yeah, this is what we're looking at on today's stream. And Johnny has very kindly put together a really cool obstacle course that we're gonna take a spin in, but we'll show you more of that later.
Yeah.
Say some words, Johnny. I said a lot of words. You say some words.
Yeah, I mean, at least all of us here, we're pretty excited about this update. It's been a long time coming. A lot of work's gone into it, but it's finally there. Getting our first big thumbs up.
Big old thumbs up. Yeah. So this is seminal. This is a seminal moment for TerraTech. Cool. All right. So, another bit of sort of news. We are to celebrate the Lunar New Year. We're also running a kind of Lunar New Year celebration sort of concours for next week. I've run out of ideas for things to stream, so I'm just going to revert back to the good old classic concours. So what I've asked everyone to do, or I've asked people to do, is to build their own dragon texts and post them to this thread that I hopefully posted in chat. So yeah, go post your dragon text, and in next week's stream we will showcase all of them. Maybe we'll see how we get on. Yeah. So yeah, go check that out. If you've built some really cool dragon themed or dragon inspired text, be greatly appreciated. Awesome. Let's move on, shall we? Let's look at some cool. No one wants to really hear us jibber jabbering. Let's move on to what people really want to see, which is
the exciting little obstacle course.
so cool. Right, I'm not gonna. We'll come back to this, but this is like a sneak peek.
Oh yeah.
Just a little teaser for everybody of what exactly can be done with some of the output blocks that we are now going to take a closer look at. So there are 4 different types of output blocks, sort of. Let's take a look at exactly what we mean. So what we mean by an output block is it's kind of the opposite of what we mean by an input block, obviously, in that an input block will output, it sort of transmits or outputs a signal from a player input. That's why it's an input block. It's kind of contradictory, I realise, but it kind of makes sense when you think of it as an output block is a block that receives a signal and then does something with that signal.
They're the exciting blocks, really.
They're the business end of the circuits and systems. They're the fun bits. So just as an example, there are currently 3 different output blocks that will be in the unstable. There's going to be more, and we're going to show you kind of some work in progress stuff as well. But for example, if we just look at the actuating gate, let me pop this on there. Anchor, so I can show you exactly what I mean. So this is the actuating gate. It has as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Are there any underneath? 6, and then I think there's one of there. So there's 7.
8.
Is there 8? 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, 8. Sorry, 8 of course. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's 8 inputs. So this block receives an input signal. From 8 of these. You can see it's an input because the arrows are pointing inwards. And then, like I said earlier, it receives an input and then it does something. And in this case, let's check a toggle on here. This block will... toggle. Turn the toggle on. Once it receives the signal, then extends. This is what we mean by an output block, and the actuator is a really good example of that because in a very visible, very physical way, it actually does something once you activate it. So that's kind of what we mean. So there's actually 2. I'm not sure. I don't think we've shown these on stream before, but there is. Sorry. Well, that's not that way.
There we go.
Right, so there is another actuating block that's coming into R&D labs, circuits and systems, and that is the actuating ramp, and that does this. So again, this is work in progress. Well, sorry, you were going to say something.
This one's particularly work in progress, but if you right-click on it, get your little menu up, you can get an angle going.
Let's go 80 degrees steep.
And then if you scale it all the way down the other way, look at that one.
Set by signal.
Set by signal. So in the future, the higher the value your wires are putting into it, the steeper that angle is going to get. So you can get real clever with it. We've had a few interesting ones around the office, I think, using that sort of feature. So,
that is really cool.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I didn't even know. I genuinely didn't know you could do that. Sorry, 1 second. I do apologise, everyone. I'm still recovering from a minor cough that I had over Christmas. Don't worry, it's fine to be in the same room as me. I'm not contagious. So we've not really talked about signal strength before. We've talked about signal delay and signal timing, but signal strength is something that we've not really talked about because that's still kind of a work in progress type thing. But effectively, all you need to know is right now this toggle is outputting a signal value of 1. And you can add and you can modify that using, or you can subtract as well. But you can modify that value of the output signal using the, what do we call them? Not charge blocks.
That's value.
Value blocks. Thank you. Yeah, the value blocks. So also known as maths blocks as well, but that's too nerdy for me because I'm a cool guy. I like calling them things like value blocks. But no, you can change the value of the signal value or the signal strength. And then, as you can see with the ramp angle, it's set by the signal. And once it receives...
Sharmoni's asked, do input blocks stack? In terms of the value, not at the moment, but there is a dual input adder we've got in the works. So you can have multiple different ones. You could have one that's set to like 150 and add it to one that's 100 and get a 250 out of it. So, not directly stacking, but there's features on the way that'll let you do that.
So there you go. Awesome. So these are the actuating blocks. So as I said, there are there are 2 actuating blocks, the gate and the ramp. These are output blocks, as I said, because they do stuff when they receive a signal. There's also in this in the initial release what we call we don't call it. It is the white pixel block. Now, those keen-eyed of you might know that we call it the white pixel block, but there's also a thing called the RGB pixel block, which we won't be showing today because, in all honesty, it's pretty broken. It's not. It doesn't. I mean, I can show you what it looks like, but it literally won't do anything because I'm not clever enough to use it. But firstly, let's look at the white pixel block. So, in the way, just think of this as your monitor. Your monitor is, if you've got a 1080p whatever monitor, there is 1920 by 1080. I think that's the resolution. There's that many pixels in your monitor. This is just 1 pixel on its own, and it works just like a binary kind of monitor.
On and off.
On and off. So let's turn it on. Once it receives a signal, and you can see the signal is coming into it this way, it turns on white. The implications of this, if you use your brain and you're much more cleverer than I am, you can really do some really cool. I've already seen, so this update went out on Monday. I've seen people making counter blocks, so using like a 3x6 grid of the white pixels to make counting blocks to count up or count down from 9 till 0. Oh, it's so cool. It's so cool.
Yeah.
But this is the thing, in essence, is a really simple block. But the implications of this the applications of this are well, like any circuit system, it's really cool. Don't really know what to say about it, but it's a simple, so you just receive a signal and it turns white.
Yeah. It's one of those ones, if you stick multiple ones next to each other, it's pretty much seamless.
Yeah.
So you can, people into that sort of pixel art vibe, they could get some cool stuff going on there. Or if they just want to make a real screen, it wouldn't be too big in the game, but we could have a little screen.
Exactly.
Maybe write your name in lights.
So there's also this. Now, this, don't look too much into this. This is the RGB pixel. I've already tried playing around with this and it didn't work. But I guess I'm just gonna have a go. I'm just gonna see what we can do. So let's multiply it. So we're gonna go the EXP value multiply.
You need a few of them.
Is it a few? Is it?
Yeah. You'll need. Well.
Oh, hang on.
What colour do you want to make?
Let's just go. What's the lowest? What's the lowest?
I think the lowest is blue. Blue, you need at least 3 of those.
Okay. Right. And are they attached in the right
They
orientation?
look right.
Right. That's good enough for me.
So you'll want to set them to 10.
Each to 10.
So I'm just going to talk everyone through.
Go.
So you've got your 1, then you've got times by 10 to get obviously a 10. Then I'd say you could go for 5 for the second one. That's it. So you got 50, and then you've got 5 again.
5 times 50.
Yeah, and then so that's 250. So click on the toggle. Nice blue.
Oh, it actually worked. Fine. However,
This is very subject to change.
yeah, I know this will change. We're telling you now. This isn't how this block will look in the final release. Because right now you can only have. Well, there's only one input. The final release, we want to have 3 inputs, each for each color. One for each color. One for blue, one for green, one for red. If we wanted to turn this red, we would have to amplify this signal. And this is what we were saying earlier. And this is why we don't want to get too technical, because right now this is receiving a signal value of 250, which makes it blue. What's the threshold for red?
255 million.
What? Right, okay, yeah, we're not going that high. That's ridiculous. Yeah. So this is why it needs a bit of work, because
it's 2.5 million, I think.
2.5 million. Fine. I mean, it's still
a
too
lot.
much.
It's way too high.
Yeah. So this block is definitely work in progress. We wanted to show you anyway, just because it's kind of fun. You could also set 2 of them to 8 and 1 to 4.
Yeah, that'll get you the proper 255
Cool.
sort of thing you're going for. Because the way it's working at the moment is you've got a 9-digit value, and it's RGB of 0 to 255. It's very awkward to pinpoint the colours you want, so we've decided we'd rather have the 3 split inputs, and then it just makes it a lot easier for the majority of people. So some people will find it a bit more annoying that it's going to be 3 inputs instead of 1, but I think it's probably the best one.
Yeah, that sounds clever.
Yeah.
Cool. So that's the pixel blocks. The white pixel block will be in the latest, or the initial release, which is already playable on the unstable. The RGB is still a work in progress, so that's definitely, like we said, that's still definitely going to change. But it's still awesome to see it all the same, even if it's still not quite finished or even there yet. Cool. So we've done actuators, we've done inputs. Now let's talk about the stopwatch. Cheers. Right, so let's just check this on here. So, spin around. Yeah, cool. So this is Stopwatch. Again, this is definitely coder art. I'm pretty sure Beltane did the art for this block. But this won't look how it looks in the final game. Trust me. But this is just a stopwatch. This does the basic functionality of a stopwatch, and I'm going to show you exactly what that means now. So on the green input, we have
Also, just to preface this, if you think the block is early art, you should see what pops up when you use the art. That is proper early days.
I love it. Cool, right, so the stopwatch is quite unique. So it's got 2 inputs. It's got the green input and the red input. The green input starts and stops the timer, depending on if it's receiving a signal or not. So if it's receiving a signal, the timer will count up. As soon as it stops receiving a signal, the counter will stop. And then the other input is to reset or clear the timer or the clock, and that just needs any signal. It can be a short burst. It can be any signal. But let's just see what that looks like right now. So as you can see, I have a toggle on the green input. I have a button on the red input. So I'm going to just turn the toggle on now. Ready? Go! So as you can see up here, in this beautiful UI, HUD UI, whatever you want to put it. And the timer is currently counting up. I like the animation that's on there as well. Yeah. It's quite a nifty little thing. But yeah, so that's kind of how the stopwatch block currently works. So it's currently going. I'm going to stop the input into it, so the timer's going to now stop. It's turned a nice shade of red. Okay, so we'll have a time of 26 seconds and 11 milliseconds. I know I'm going to need that, so I'm just going to reset it, and it just clears it. Just going to read a quick comment from X. It might be neat if the stopwatch had an output with the strength being the number of cycles the stopwatch was on for.
Yeah, so the idea of the longer it ticks up, the higher the value out.
As an output signal?
Yeah, I think that's how... If I've got that wrong, let me know. But I think that's what they're saying.
Yeah.
I like the sound of it.
I like the sound of it a lot.
Yeah.
Cool. So that's the stopwatch. Again, this is still work in progress. It won't look like this. It'll pretty much function like this, I imagine. I can't see what else it would. Okay, excellent. Okay, cool, fine. Yeah. So it would be cool if this output the signal that it counted up to. Yeah,
pretty cool.
I've definitely butchered it, but yeah, that'd be. I'm sure that has some awesome applications as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, there you go. Stopwatch block.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
People have seen the other legacy blocks that are getting a bit of features.
So that's what we're going to put. Yes, that's what we're going to look at now. So let's. There are also, alongside the new the new Rest for Research output blocks or new circuits and systems output blocks, there are also some legacy or vanilla, as I like to call them, vanilla blocks that work with the circuits and systems content as well. So let's take a look at. I want a rapid fire weapon. Well, that's it really matters. Let's just check this in. If I were to attach. Okay.
That's it.
Nice. So weapon, there's effectively four categories of existing vanilla blocks that receive a signal and activate. The first one is weapons. So as you can see, when I press this button, the weapon fires. I can actually, I meant to select a toggle. So let me go back to this one. Tell you what, that quick select feature is an absolute godsend.
It saves so much time.
Yeah,
it's great.
That's right. So if we just toggle it on, this will constantly fire now. Because it's receiving a constant input and not just one tick. So that's how weapons work, and it works for all weapons, I believe, of all corporations. Yeah. Cool. So there's that. Let's get rid of you. So that's one category of vanilla blocks. There's also explosive bolts. Let's just take a look at that. So as soon as I turn this toggle on, this explosive bolt, I don't even need to be a toggle actually, I could just use the button.
The button's fine.
But as soon as this explosive bolt receives the signal, it's going to explode and this gun's going to go flying off. Ready? Bosh. Just like that. So explosive bolts are another one that are activated by. The other one is lights. So let's just take a look at some lights. You would have seen this, we've shown this a lot, but as you can see, lights already also work as well. So you can see the light is receiving an input, so it turns itself on. This is going to be really useful for like daytime driving. If you want to have your lights on, if you don't care about the environment and you just want to burn through electricity and energy, fine. Have your lights on during the day. It's fine. But this is what this block, the lights will allow you to do. So as you can see, we're in the daytime now, sort of. It's R&D labs, but yeah, your lights are on. Good stuff. And the fourth type of block is the rotating anchors. So I'm just going to show you, because this is by far my favourite one, because it just looks ridiculous. But if I just load a rotating anchor, I'm just going to pop this on here. Receive a signal. So what do we think is going to happen, chat, when we activate it? So it's going to turn it on. Oh, it's just going to spin forever, perpetually. So yeah. Thanks guys, thanks chat. It's spinning. That's all that rotating anchors can do. I'm sure there's a reason we've added. I'm not entirely sure why we focused on rotating anchors. I'm sure there's some functionality. Or
it's not only rotating clockwise. Depends again on those cheeky values.
Oh, the values.
So if you change your value to, I think at the moment it's less than 50 clockwise, greater than 50 anti-clockwise, and then you can incorporate other stuff. So it will rotate clockwise until a certain thing is fulfilled. And then you go, oh, now it'll spin the other way. We thought it'd be a pretty fun thing. There's probably some little bits and pieces you can do with it.
Absolutely.
I know some people have thought about maybe like trying to make a clock that spins round and then all that sort of stuff.
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lovely. Damn! I forgot my notepad. God damn it! I'm an idiot. So basically, these are the output blocks. This is sort of what. This is the kind of the nice, like I said earlier, the bookend to the latest sort of batch of circuits and systems blocks. These are the blocks that do stuff. Now, since we launched the circuits and systems initial blocks there on the Steam Unstable branch, we've had some really cool ideas and suggestions, and on our Discord server, which please, if you have ideas and suggestions of cool things you want to see done with circuits and systems, head over to our Discord. I'm going to share a link in a minute. We have a whole channel dedicated to it, and basically what I'm trying to get at is we've already had, I think, some 4 or 5 really good ideas, which I'm going to rattle off now because it's worth mentioning them because I know they're going to come up a lot. And I'm not talking about them to say, we're already aware of them. This is just to give you a flavour of what people already mentioned, and just to keep the ideas coming. So firstly, it's having more categories, more vanilla block categories that can be used with circuits and systems. So things like propellers, boosters, the block magnet turner off or on. That sort of stuff should also be activated with circuits and systems. We completely agree. Like we've mentioned before, this is still a work in progress, and we're still kind of iterating and ideating. Well, horrible phrases, but you know what I mean. We're still working on it. So yeah, those are things that we will look to add in the future. Another kind of suggestion, and this is a big one because I even feel the pain myself. You probably would have seen me when I was messing around with it on the actuating gates, is trying to set the manual value of, for example, this. I can't. Well, first I can't get an exact. No, it's between increments of 5, and I can't go between those numbers. What would be nice and cool is to have a way to manually input that. So using my keyboard, or if I was on console, using the D-pad to input a manual number to make it more accurate would be really useful. Again, that's something that we know of, and I think the guys, so Beltane and Django, are already working on a solution to that. So again, watch this space for that. Well, there was a couple more. Do you remember what I mentioned this morning in Scrum?
So it's those ones. I think someone said about having a diode.
Yep, excellent. Mentioned having a diode. That's technically already in.
Yeah.
Technically.
Yeah, we did lose it at some point, but it came back.
But it came back.
So we're all right. I think it's the one-way wire. I think it came back. Maybe
it's not here. Maybe
back.
It's in.
It may not have come back, but there were talks of bringing it back because we don't know what happened to it. It just vanished one day. It's coming back.
Yeah. So just to clarify, there was a suggestion to have a diode. I don't quite know what the diode is or how it works, but it's basically a one-way wire, which we already have. We already sort of featured that before, so it exists. It's just not in. How strong is that trapdoor? It's infinitely strong.
Wow. You know what you could do? Pop something on it and turn it on. See how far it flies.
Oh, you mean that strong? Yes, please. All right, let's turn it off. Excuse me.
Do you have that?
All right, ready?
Yeah, maybe lower that other one. Oh. Not the strongest.
Not the strongest.
But you can lift stuff.
Yeah, it's strong enough to lift stuff. Just not fling a GSO cab. Maybe different weighted blocks may affect it differently. I don't know. We'll play around, but we'll leave it up to you to play around. Let us know what blocks can you fling and how far can you fling them. Cool.
Huh?
There you go. So yeah, that's it for input blocks. Let me think. So there was diode. Hexen also had another suggestion, which I can't remember. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, all the suggestions, the main suggestions that we've had so far, are stuff that we already feel ourselves. I mean, it's really interesting. I think the good bits of feedback that I've had from the guys in the studio is that it's amazing. While all the positive stuff that we've had about circuits and systems is mucho bueno, It's amazing to feel that we're all on the same page and that we're all kind of having the same thoughts. So the developers and the community, because that's the perfect spot to be in, because it means that we can push forward together. There's not a kind of split between what we want to do and what the community wants us to do. So yeah, we're all going in the right direction, which is awesome.
And also, even if you've not got any ideas of your own, still hop in, because you can upvote and downvote other people's suggestions. So if you think, oh, that's a great idea, I really want to have a 20 by 20 block that's bright pink, you can upvote that if someone's voted for it.
Hey Siri, 20 by 20 big block, max idea. Cool. Yeah, so exactly that, Johnny. Like, yeah, head over to the Discord. I'm going to share the link right now because we've spoken about it. And yeah, yeah, if you haven't got your ideas, or you like me and you don't feel like you're creative enough to think of this sort of stuff, you can still contribute by giving it a thumbs up or a thumbs down, and that tells us what you guys and girls and everyone in between want to see. It's actually it's genuinely been one of the most useful things I've done as a community manager for the TerraTech community and the developers. It's so right, cool.
I'm noticing people chatting about another ball contraption. I'm a big fan of that. I want to see that. I liked the last one. It's an old one now.
Oh, it's so old.
But yeah,
I tried having a go at it myself, and it was tough. But yeah, I guarantee there's much more clever people out there than me. We'll be able to do it. Right, so let's take a look at this. So this is basically putting pretty much everything that we've just seen into action. So I tell you what, I'm going to hand over the reins to Johnny, because Johnny is so Johnny built this. Johnny, for those that don't know, is our resident QA for circuits and systems.
That's how you.
I know it's not great.
There we go.
If you were left-handed, it would be way. In fact,
left-handed.
Oh, you are.
Yeah, I just use the computer right-handed.
Oh.
One of those things.
God,
right.
Anyway, so Johnny's our QA. He's worked on circuits and systems, and he's a very clever boy.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. So he built all this afternoon.
Yeah.
Literally in an hour or a couple of hours.
Hour and a half.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
I definitely dabbled with it before, so I'd add some inspired stuff from that. But yeah.
So Johnny's basically going to set the benchmark, and then I'm going to try and have a go and see what I can do. What time is it? So it's 4:30. So we're halfway through the stream.
Nice.
So we're going to spend the next half an hour basically. So let's just see how we get on.
Yeah. Do you want to give me a countdown?
3, 2, 1, bazinga.
Oh. Right. So first up, you got the trapdoors of death. Got a
nice.
sneak across them.
I noticed you had a bit of an FPS drop then as well.
Yeah, that wasn't great.
Oh!
Just
Nice.
about made it through. Just a spin.
Cool. So as you can see at the top, there is the timer is already going. So this is as you all know, timer is going to time Johnny's time.
And we've got the doors of destruction. What? These guys?
Will it actually crush you if you got stuck? Would it damage you?
I don't think it damages you, but the tech doesn't like it.
No, I wouldn't.
If you're going on your run, feel free to.
Oh! Okay, fine. So it pushes you.
Yeah.
Guys, this is basically Fall Guys. We've just recreated Fall Guys in TerraTech.
That was way better, of course.
100%. And then the wave of waves.
The wave of wiggliness.
Yeah.
And
Oh my goodness.
Ooh.
And then finally.
Over the line.
Oh.
Should have put a stop on that. Nice new fireworks.
Oh my goodness, look at the time.
Wow.
56.99. So basically 57 seconds for as good as it makes a difference.
So we'll go and reset this with our fancy stopwatch. There you go.
Cool, right, so that's my go.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm so nervous. Right.
It's easier to set this time. There's no pressure to beat anyone.
Yeah. Right, so you count me down.
Alright, ready? 3, 2, 1, wait.
Oh.
Go.
Oh no!
Gotta get every
Fine,
advantage
I'm
I
through,
can.
I'm through. Oh no, I got so stuck! Oh god, right, okay, so already I'm failed.
Oh, you've got this.
Go around. To be honest, we did the trial run before we went live, and that's better than I did on my trial run. Anyway, right, let's just get back into position. Right, so you can see the stopwatch is still going. I'm gunning it. Oh, come on!
You got.
Yeah. Oh! Okay, fine. I'm so nervous.
You got this. Oh,
Oh my gosh.
Bill Beam that one. No, no tell.
No, that's fine. Bill Beam is for quitters. Oh, I quit. I'm not doing that again. Alright. Oh, God! Damn it! Come on!
You can do it. You can do it. There you go. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. It's hovertech's great,
Oh my
isn't
God.
it?
Who made this tech is a genius. Right. At least I can't fall off here, right?
I mean, I don't think you can, but
Oh. Right, okay, so yeah, it doesn't like being trapped in the middle.
no.
I'll tell you what's putting me off is the width of the wheels. I'm not used to it.
You're used to the little ones.
Yeah. I'm through,
You
right,
got it.
okay, nice.
And it's just a wave of wiggliness.
Wave of
Yeah,
wiggliness.
good
Look
to
at my
go.
time. Look at my.
Oh no.
Right, you saw the glitch. You saw the frame rate drop there, though, right?
Yeah. You could count that one as a win. It's pretty much
No,
there.
it's not a win. It's not a win until you finish the finish across the. Oh my gosh! Hey, it's a good job we're not recording this for the whole world to see and broadcasting it to tens of people.
No one's been mean in chat yet. Yeah, look at that. 10 out of 10. Great driving.
Thanks, chat. I knew you'd have my back. Right, here we go. I've done this once. I can do it again. Oh my god! You saw that? What was that? What was that shenanigans? Oh my god! I like that you've added. I mean, this is probably the hardest. I'm not saying the hardest. It's all pretty hard. But the trickiest obstacle is first.
Swiftly.
Right, I'm gonna give up.
No.
In a minute.
You can give yourself one proper good.
Alright.
That's it.
Nice.
Seamless.
What? How did you get it so spot on? Is it just muscle memory?
No, it's.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Right.
You got.
Oh, I got back up. I got back up. Okay, I'm fine. I'm fine. Oh.
There you go.
Right, it is almost a legit run.
You got.
My tongue sticking out and everything.
How you know you're focused.
Yeah.
Chat's asked if this is going to be for everyone or just DLC. So eventually it'll be for everyone, but for now we're keeping it with R&D until everyone's real happy with where it is. But you'll have to wait a little bit longer before everyone gets it.
Oh, this isn't fun. Come on. Come
Go
on.
off the sides. Oh,
Oh,
he's done it.
look at that. The perfect time of...
And you didn't fall off the end like I did, so you're the real winner here.
No, do you know who is the real winner? TerraTech is the real winner,
Mm.
because this is awesome. So that was a time of 3 minutes and 32 seconds. Oh, I'm so stressed. That was horrible. Cool. Now we do adventure wheels. Yeah, that's not going to happen because that's just a disaster waiting to happen. But as you can see, that's the perfect kind of way that we can express. Yeah.
And I'm sure people are gonna in the community do 100 times better than this, but this just is a little taste, a little sample.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, spot on. So go build stuff on the unstable branch. See if you can build anything better than this, which I'm sure you can. There's already stuff going on. Like Exxon, who I think is in chat. Exxon has built a flip flop, or what else do they call them? Anyway, basically, it's a way. Basically, that's the proof of concept that you can effectively build a computer in TerraTech.
Like in this, it's got a little flip flop going for the timer. So you've got turns on when you drive through. Goes again when you drive through the ends.
There you go. Flip flops and the memory cells have been made. And that's just using existing logic blocks and wires and input blocks. So
we've gone for the real base level stuff here. You can make a lot with these blocks. Some people have asked for ones that are condensed down. Might look into that in the future, but at the moment, if you want something like a NAND gate, you can make that yourself with these blocks. So the players have got the power.
Oh, what a nice way to end.
Yeah,
The players have got the power. This is awesome. So this is what TerraTech being a sandbox game, this basically just takes the sandbox and just makes it way more sandboxy. you know, logic and computering and electronics and stuff. It's open that world, so that's really fun. I mean, we've pretty much come to the end of what we can show off today. I think there was anything more that we wanted to talk about.
I think so.
So we can end it there. So just to recap, you can now play the circuits, the initial block set of circuits and systems. That is in the latest Unstable. So go and check that out on Steam if you haven't already. It's in R&D only at the minute because we were still sort of testing and effectively kind of prototyping all this kind of stuff. So but it will be the end goal is sort of in a few kind of updates time or a couple of updates. It will graduate to the full game. Spoiler alert, it may not even look like this, and we may have a whole new corporation. Potentially, that's kind of what we're looking at.
Whoa.
Potentially. No, I think we've definitely talked about this before.
Okay.
No, I'm not giving too much away. We are exploring the idea of it being in its own corporation. We've put it in Reticle Research for now, but you know, that's not to say that it might have its own thing. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. Yeah, so go check it out while you can. Let us know what your thoughts are. I'm going to share the link in chat again, but we have a whole Discord server and a suggestions channel exclusively for new ideas and sort of community suggestions. So go check it out. Yeah. Anything else to add?
Thanks for joining us.
And thanks to Johnny for joining us.
Yeah.
Thanks to Johnny.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's been fun, man. This was that Come on, what is it? That thing that you built. Obstacle course. Thank you. Yeah. This is what happened. Words just leave my brain. The obstacle course that Johnny built was amazing. We'll try and put that up on. We might even put that on the Steam Workshop actually.
Yeah.
We'll post that from the official TerraTech Payload Studios Steam account, so you can go have a play with it. Yeah, go check it out.
Yeah. And if you beat Matt's time, tweet at us. Let us know.
If you can beat Johnny's time.
Oh yeah, either one.
Yeah, we may even have I may even have to run a leaderboard.
Oh, exciting!
I don't know how you can verify who got what, but we'll figure that. That's tomorrow, Matt's problem. Cool. Thanks for joining us. Right, let's leave it there.
Yeah.
Join us next time, chat. So next week we are going to be doing Community Core. It's going to be a Lunar New Year themed Community Core. We have a whole thread if you want to submit a Lunar New Year themed Dragon Tech. We'll showcase that in next week's stream. So yeah, it's the return of Community Core. Whoop whoop. And yeah, see you next week.
Yeah.
Take it easy, guys. Bye.